What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. Got interesting one for y'all. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, come on in. What's up, Brian? We'll give him another minute and we'll get started. All right. They'll come in when they come in. Y'all can share this with your friends. Let them know. Let's begin. Now, I want to talk about this because we just had two hip-hop billionaires in Jay-Z and Nas arise within the last month. Now, this is for a reason. Jay-Z was named the first hip-hop artist ever to reach billionaire status, which is cool. I'm not taking that away from him. He worked for that. And then Nas came along and reached billionaire status last month. So why is this so important? What is the ancestors trying to show us here? What is the deities, the gods and goddesses, the primordial realm, the creators trying to show us here? What they're trying to show us here is street consciousness can never outdo God consciousness. And this is why. If you know the history of Jay-Z and Nas, you know they've had a very unique history with each other. Nas started out rapping in the early 90s, MCing. And, you know, he was always about his God consciousness and God rap. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? God hop. You see what I'm saying? He was always about that. He was always putting in their work. He was always letting you know the truth through his lyrics. You see what I'm saying? It was always a spiritual rap, letting you know what it is. But he always gave you the reality of the situation in his rap. You see what I'm saying? Because he knew how to balance out the God consciousness with the street consciousness. Well, Jay-Z came along just shortly down the road and asked Nas to help him develop his rap style. Of course, y'all already know this thanks to his popular song Ether, where he told the story. Now, they took two very different paths. What's up, Rose Garcia? They took two very different paths, as we both know. One decided to take the street consciousness path, and the other one decided to take the God consciousness path. And they both ended up with $1 billion, true enough. But the alchemy is in how they ended up with $1 billion. What did they do to make this money? You see what I'm saying? What were their trials and tribulations? And the reason why it's called God consciousness versus street consciousness is this lecture here is to show y'all how God consciousness at the end of the day gonna always come out on top. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's going to overrule everything. Even with the Fast and the Furious Decode that I'm going to talk about later, you're going to see how it always overrules. Now, it's interesting. It's interesting here. They battled each other before they separated. And Nas won with his popular song, Ether. You know, defeated him. And everybody was like, oh, well, Jay-Z lost the battle. Now, as the years went by, everybody just thought that Nas fell off and he was done, and so they said that Jay-Z won the war. But as we now know, this is untrue. Jay-Z lost the war and the battle because Nas still came out with his $1 billion, and they pretty much even on their paths arrived at $1 billion pretty much around the same time. You see what I'm saying? Jay-Z in June and Nas in July. So literally they're a month apart. You see what I'm saying? They was both heralded as billionaires, black billionaires. You see what I'm saying? So Jay-Z worked his ass off. He took the street consciousness route. He worked his ass off. And when I mean he worked his ass off, not just with business deals, he had to do many different corrupt things to get his money. You see what I'm saying? He had to lie. He had to cheat. He had to steal. He had to snitch. He had to betray. He had to do whatever he had to do to get to the top so that he could make this money. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? He did all this work to make this $1 billion, and which is what he did. You see what I'm saying? He did a lot of dirty things to reach the top. You know, the 48 laws of power. See what I'm saying? The art of war. You know? You see what I'm saying? He used all those techniques. Plus, he wanted to be, he didn't just want to make money, he wanted to be in the in crowd. You see what I'm saying? He wanted to be down with the cabal. So he took the pure street consciousness path, and he ended up reaching his goal of $1 billion, right? $1 billion now. Now, Nas, on the other hand, took an alternate path. He chose the God consciousness path. True enough, he had his trials and tribulations, but he was still dropping smash hits, although they both were so-called dropping smash hits or smash CDs all throughout their careers. But, you know, he was dropping his smash hits. He loved, some things happened with his relationships, you know. Things happened, he failed. Then he rose again once he created his investment company and started buying up companies. You see what I'm saying? And started investing in them, right? So, what happened next was he began to invest in all these companies, and in half the time it took Jay-Z to make his $1 billion, he did it in like 6 to 7 years. You see what I'm saying? It took Jay-Z 25 whole years of lying, cheating, stealing, betraying to make that $1 billion. And he probably can barely sleep at night because of these decisions he made. You see what I'm saying? You got to be empty on the inside by now because of all these decisions. But Nas, on the other hand, did following the God consciousness path, continued to do this work, and he came out on top still, and showed you that nah, don't listen to these motherfuckers. The God consciousness path is the right path. This is what the ancestors want us to see here. This is what the primordial realm, the Creator, wants us to see. He chose the high path, and he still came out on top. Around the exact same time, Jay-Z came out on top. They literally came billionaires at the same time, but looking at Nas did it in half the time with the least amount of work, and he still has his soul intact. So he mastered both sides of the force. You see what I'm saying? He mastered God consciousness and street consciousness. Whereas Jay-Z has mastered street consciousness, but he didn't badly master God consciousness. You see what I'm saying? He just not tapping back into his God shit. He told you that on his 444 album that he dropped back in 2017. So, and he had to go through all that shit that he had to go through to get there, when he could have just listened to Nas in the first place and said, "Nah, just take your time. Take you step by step. Enjoy the journey. Life is not a sprint. It's a triathlon. You got to take it step by step." But Jay-Z didn't want to hear that. He wanted to take the fast route. You see what I'm saying? He wanted the money quick, fast, and in a hurry, and he ended up in a bad place. You see what I'm saying? So this is the difference between the two. This is the difference between the God route and the street route, or the physical path. You see what I'm saying? Nas stayed in tune with his spirituality all throughout his life, and he still end up coming out on top with his soul intact. This is what I want y'all to see here. This is what the ancestors want y'all to see. You know, they kind of like shielded it in. Oh, Jay-Z is the first hip hop artist to make $1 billion. They want to throw that out there real quick before Nas made his billion. You see what I'm saying? They want to memorialize it real quick. You see what I'm saying? Cause Jay-Z worked for the cabal. You see what I'm saying? So since he worked for the cabal and he playing both sides of the field, you know they gotta glorify him first. And you will never know Nas made that billion if you weren't on Facebook hearing about it. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Kazak? So this is what I'm talking about here. But he did it with his soul still intact. He a free man with his finances straight, doing well. Master, you see what I'm saying? A Jedi master here, who did it, who a lot of who at the end of the day rose to the top with his spirituality. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see here, y'all. His soulality. That's what I want y'all to see here. He rose to the top, his soul force, his God force intact. Whereas Jay-Z rose to the top off just his physical shit. And goddamn, he paid for that shit. He paid for just taking the physical path. He was pretty much taking it. He was pretty much bidding over, taking it in the ass by the cabal. You see what I'm saying? That's literally what was happening here. So yeah, he made his billion, but look at all the shit he had to go through to make that billion. Whereas Nas did it right. He followed his intuition, his inner guidance. He got on his grind. He made it happen, and now he's a billionaire. Now he's straight. He's set for the rest of his life, both spiritually and physically. You see what I'm saying? This is what we talking about. This the 720 degrees y'all have heard so much about, mastering both the spiritual and the physical. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, the Creator worked through him to show you that God consciousness gonna always win out. Them street conscious niggas, especially in New York, slept on Nas. They said, "Oh, he lost the war," and this was recent. This was like within the last year or two. Last year. Within the last year. Oh, he lost the war. Jay-Z won it. He came out on top. It was in the last year or two, because they was talking that shit for his 444 album or whatever. And they was like, yeah, street consciousness overrules this so-called God consciousness. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's okay, but you focus on the street shit mainly. And what has that gotten us? Nowhere. It got us locked down, because the street consciousness only keep you from accessing your metaphysical mind, your highest height. You see what I'm saying? Your God mind. You see what I'm saying? Your spiritual mind, your soul mind. It keeps you from accessing it. And we just seen this with Jay-Z. all that work, y'all, all the shit that he had to do to get to the top, and yet his rival comes back along with the God consciousness and still wins out. Still showing you that the God consciousness is the baddest shit out here. None of that street shit, alright, you know, ain't nothing wrong with it. You can use it, you know. That street consciousness, alright, you know. But Nas shows you now, always put God first, the soul first, and the body second. But Jay-Z will teach you to put the body first and the soul second. And he got his ass whooped. Overall, he got his ass whooped at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, what happened? Nas still did what he did. He was talking all that shit to Nas back in the day about, it's all about getting his money. It's all about making this change. You see what I'm saying? It's all about the wealth, the physical wealth. You see what I'm saying? And Nas got that now. He got both the physical wealth and the spiritual wealth. Whereas Jay-Z only got mainly the physical wealth. He started tapping into his spirituality around 2017, but Nas been on it. Nas been trying to tell him that shit for 20-something years now. See what I'm saying? Nas came out in the early 90s. His first CD dropped, Illmatic. You see what I'm saying? Jay-Z came out in the late 90s, I think. Mid to late 90s with Reasonable Doubt. From Illmatic to present day, and Reasonable Doubt to present day, you look at the two energies, and Illmatic won out. You see what I'm saying? The God force won out once again, and the street consciousness got to bow down. You see what I'm saying? The body got to bow down to the soul once again. So this is what this was about. This is why we looking at this, and everybody's like, damn, Jay-Z, you put in all this work, and now still came back and beat you. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you did a lot of fucked up shit to get to your billion. Shit, Nas just did what he did best. You see what I'm saying? He followed his inner God. His inner God was working through him to manifest this billion, just to show you that your soul always come first and the body second. You see what I'm saying? God self first, body second. As long as you do your spiritual work and do your internal work, the journey may be a little harder, and it may require a little bit more fight, but at the end of the day, you're going to always come out on top. That inner knowing going to show you time and time again at the end of each trial that you're going to come out on top. Whereas Jay-Z badly came out on top. He just badly made it there before Nas made it there. And they started around the same time and got to the same place, but they took two different routes. You see what I'm saying? And one did it through the physical, and the other one did it through the spiritual. And yet the spiritual won out overall because Nas did not have to do not nearly as much bullshit as Jay-Z did. You see what I'm saying? Jay-Z had to put up with the cabal and get fucked in the ass by them niggas. Time and time again. Be part of their agenda. Destroy the planet. Help us enslave the planet. We'll give you everything you want. And he still barely got his billion before Nas. Whereas Nas, you see what I'm saying? My boy came in, because I've always been rooting for Nas, because he always had the God consciousness, and he made me proud at the end of the day. He showed y'all right on time. He was right on time, because you know God always on time. You see what I'm saying? May not be there when you wanted to, but when you needed to, he right there. You see there? She right there. The God is right there. So he was right on time, y'all. He showed up and showed out. See what I'm saying? $1 billion. Plus whatever else is in his portfolio. Because he owns an investment company. So he's still doing better than fucking Jay-Z. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Overall, because he mastered his spirit, his soul, mind, and body. Well, Jay-Z just mastered the mind and body. You see what I'm saying? I think he's working on his spirit according to what he was saying in 444, but I can't prove that to you. So I can only go off what that's hearsay. But we know Nas been on that shit since he first came out. So we know he know, and we know he don't mind ripping the God force. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is about with them two. Now a lot of energies are challenging the God force. We're gonna move on to this Fast and the Furious, which is why I want to talk about this too. Hobbs and Shaw, you know, The Rock and Jason Statham had to go up against Idris Elba, which was a genetically modified super soldier. And he was guided by the Archon, which was AI technology. You see what I'm saying? Pretty much AI technology. See what I'm saying? AI technology. And the war here was to prove which was stronger, spirit or God force or the God consciousness versus technology or AI consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So the natural force, the natural consciousness versus the artificial consciousness. And guess what? Once again, God won in the movie. Artificial consciousness got their ass whooped in the movie. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? They was talking shit to him, but once again, the Archons getting their ass whooped. Because they went up against the Samoans, who are deeply spiritual beings. And they figured out how to shut down their technological weapons. And once they shut down their technological weapons, they got their asses kicked. You see what I'm saying? Because they can't stand up to their spirituality. So when your guns get shut down, Cabal, what you gonna do then? What you gonna do when your guns start working? When that shit start falling apart? You see what I'm saying? Well, what you gonna do in the middle ain't the greatest weapon no more. When magic is now the greatest weapon. You see what I'm saying? You gonna get your ass kicked by these motherfuckers that's awakening now. You see what I'm saying? So that's what this movie was about. He told them it's all about heart. It's all about soul. You see what I'm saying? You don't have that. You just a fucking cause Idris Elba was nothing but a super soldier. They killed Shaw killed him in the movie. He killed him, and when he killed him, the Archons or the Etion organization, that's what they call themselves in the movie, Etion, and the Etion organization rebuilt him and made him a super soldier. But in reality, he was just a technological slave to their system. And what happened after he got his ass kicked by Hobbs and Shaw? They deactivated his ass. So the niggas who's supposed to have his back when he needed them the most, instead of saving him, they shut his ass down. They shut all his technological, all his advanced technology down. This is what we talking about. This is what happened in fucking Captain Marvel. They shut when you go against them, that which can be given can be taken away. This is what we talking about. This is what happened when you deal with the AI, the Archons, and they install their technologies in you. They can give you technologies, but they also have the power to shut those technologies down because they're going to implant chips and nanites in them. And chips and nanites can be deactivated at any given moment. You see what I'm saying? So he figured out that he was on the losing side. He didn't realize that he was on the losing side. He believed in a better world because they was all about evolution, but it was homo evolutis. You see what I'm saying? But they showed them that homo luminous is the way to go. See what I'm saying? Homo evolutis is just simply fucking you part human and part machine, transhumanism. You see what I'm saying? But homo luminous on the other hand, is you becoming a spiritual God again, doing the internal work, activating your chakras, and becoming the true and living deity that you are. You see what I'm saying? So once again, everybody's trying to go up against God consciousness and getting their ass whooped. Street consciousness, artificial consciousness. Everybody going to war with God consciousness and getting their asses whooped, getting that ass tapped around here. You see what I'm saying? Getting that ass tapped. Going up against the soul energy, the soul force, the force of the creator. You see what I'm saying? And the creator is showing you this. It was always said that nothing can stand against me, and I will always prove to you my works. You see what I'm saying? My works through spirit. So once again, the creator showed these motherfuckers what it's all about. Roll with me, and you'll never be defeated. Roll with them, you're going to always be defeated. You see what I'm saying? Well, later, you're going to always be defeated around here. Fucking with they shit. Whether it's AI consciousness, whether it's street consciousness, everything bows to God consciousness at the end of the day. And that's what everybody is figuring out. With Nas and Jay-Z, Nas showed them God consciousness be street consciousness. With Hobbs and Shaw, when they fought Idris, when they fought Idris Elba, I don't remember the guy's name in the movie, but him as a super soldier in the movie, when they fought him and defeated him, it wasn't them that killed him. It was fucking the AI that killed him. You see what I'm saying? And I find that funny. I was like, well, goddamn. You see what I'm saying? So they showed you in this movie that this shit ain't worth it. It ain't worth fucking with this AI this AI consciousness. If every time you fail, they just gonna kill you. That's what they just showed you in this movie. That's what y'all gonna find out when y'all go see it. You're gonna be like, damn, this AI ain't shit. These archons ain't shit. See what I'm saying? So that's what I want to talk to y'all about. At the end of the day, God consciousness is gonna wipe all this shit out. Everybody warring with it in every shape, form, or fashion, and getting that ass whooped. God showing you how to whoop that ass with a smile right now on your face. Just go around whooping that ass with your God force now. And I don't give a damn what kind of consciousness it is. They gonna get that ass whooped. You see what I'm saying? God force. You see what I'm saying? So this is what this is about. This is what this is about. Two events that I find interesting that just popped up in my reality. So I knew I was supposed to give you this message. Ancestor approved. You see what I'm saying? The primordial approved, creator approved. You see what I'm saying? I knew I was supposed to give you this message. The Nas and Jay-Z situation and the fucking Fast and the Furious movie showing you well they showed you the natural force, heart and spirit and soul, the path of soul, a soul society versus a fucking technological archonic society. Once again, I've already talked about this before. So they showing you what it is. The creator showing you on this planet what this is about. Choose God consciousness. Choose your soul first and your body second, and you'll never go wrong. Even when it seems like you're wrong, you're not wrong. You're just dealing with different trials to help you just dealing with different trials so that you can learn and grow at an accelerated rate. That's what it's all about. So with that being said, just want to put that out there. Ain't gonna make this too long. Just want to give y'all a little something. You see what I'm saying? Just give y'all a little something here. On how God consciousness out here whooping that ass with a smile on his face. You see what I'm saying? God out here whooping ass with a smile on his face. See what I'm saying? And God is you, me, and everybody else. God got it. You see what I'm saying? Don't think the guys ain't out here whooping ass too. Cause Hobbs and Shaw showed you what it was about. And old girl in the movie as well. Shaw's sister. They showed you now. Pick the spiritual path, the soul path. Don't pick this fucking archonic AI, artificial shit that they trying to push on you. This Homo evolutionist bullshit. Pick Homo luminous, the way of God, the way of the deity. You see what I'm saying? The way of soul, the way of the creator, and you'll never go wrong. You'll always be happy with yourself, both on the inside, and your creation's gonna always manifest in the physical plane. If you so choose to walk that, when you so choose to walk that path. So that being said, are there any questions? Any questions? Before I get up off here. Well, alright. If y'all don't have any questions, I'm about to get up out of here. I'm Marvin Jones. Check out my other videos on the Metal Not Order YouTube channel. Share this with your friends and put the word out. And I'm out. Peace.